In the last video, we saw the giant crimson mother bear who was invited to the cave by her cub. Initially, Sejun and the rabbits were scared out of their wits when they saw her, but the tower manager interpreted her messages and told Sejun that the mother bear was not here to harm him. Rather, she wanted him to feed her cub honey, and she would protect the surrounding areas in exchange for that. Sejun was relieved to learn this, and he came out of the cave by getting on the giant bear's palm. He felt nostalgic as he saw his farm from the top, and as he finally saw the world outside his cave, he was mesmerized by the expanse of the 99th floor of the tower. It was much larger than he expected it to be, and then he noticed the waypoint, the device using which hunters can move in between the tower floors. Sejun sees a hope to climb down to the first floor using it and then leaving for the outside world, and wants to take the mama bear's help to cover the distance. But she refuses to help him with that, and the tower master says that there were 3,000 monsters on the way to the waypoint, and the Crimson Bear territory ended near the cave itself. Realizing that he has no way to go to the exit quickly, Sejun gets disheartened, but then the Black Rabbit and Queen Bee come to him, and they give honey to the bear cub. Then Sejun is shocked to learn that food was scarce outside and the mother bear had not eaten anything for 3 days. So he prepares a delicious feast for her and her baby, and she is so happy that she tightly hugs him and his rabbit friends. The tower manager is also happy about Sejun making a deal with the bear because she thinks that this way he can quickly expand his farm and she will have more to eat. And besides that, she will no longer have to worry much about Sejun's safety. Meanwhile, on the 75th floor of the tower, the fox inspector Zerath is going through some case files when she learns that the cat merchant Theo has been spotted on the floor, and she decides to postpone all her cases till she has found out the secret about him and his relationship with Squirrel. 3 days have passed since Sejun made the deal with the mother bear to protect him and his farm in exchange for feeding her cub. She visits Sejun in the morning with her baby, and they happily greet him while he welcomes them too. He then asks the mother bear to bring him outside the cave, and as she brings him outside, he gives him a big food package to eat while she is outside on patrol duty. The bear is grateful and leaves to patrol the area while leaving her baby, who was as big as Sejun now, in his care. This was her daily routine, and thanks to the protection she provided, Sejun was beginning to expand his business. He and the rabbit started moving their things outside the cave little by little and started clearing the area around the cave. But the situation was completely different here, as the soil was not as fertile as the underground soil, and it was also full of rocks and pebbles. As Sejun and the shovel rabbit examine it, both are worried about the soil, which is too dry and full of stones, which would make growing the crops here too difficult. But then they hear the roar of the baby crimson bear and see him recklessly digging around the ground as if he were swimming in it. He is having fun while playing in the mud, and the black warrior rabbit and cart rabbit are picking up the stones from the dugout ground. Sejun is excited to see them working so hard and especially praises the bear cub, saying that picking stones will be easier now. As a reward for his action, he treats him to a roasted sweet potato, which the bear gladly eats. Sejun says that in just a few days, the bear cub had grown almost as tall as him, and he is scared just thinking about what may have happened if he stayed inside the cave and ended all their food. Then Sejun starts planting the sweet potato crop because planting root crops in barren soil may provide a better result than other crops. His sowing skill is in progress and boosts the chance of the sweet potato taking root, and his skill proficiency and XP both keep on rising gradually. The shovel rabbit is also helping him out, and Sejun says that they will try for cherry tomatoes later. But then he is in for a shock as he turns back and finds the bear cub digging around the area and eating the sweet potatoes they had just planted. He looks really proud but is shocked when Sejun scolds him, saying that they are not digging the ground for treasure hunting. Their hard work has been neutralized by the bear, who is depressed as Sejun says they will have to replant the whole field. As the shovel rabbit lectures the crimson bear, Sejun thinks he needs to teach the cub the concept of planting because he is going to stay here. Meanwhile, Theo is back on the 38th floor of the tower, ready for another batch of sales. This time, he declares that the sales will take place in batches of 300 magical cherry tomatoes, and he has 18 of them in total. The hunters are excited for the auction, and after it ends, Theo finds that the gold was much less than the last time because the rich pushover was not here today. As he thinks it would be nice if more people like him came, Kim Dongshik approaches the cat and asks him if he has checked that the contract from the last time is fulfilled. Theo welcomes the veteran hunter, who wants the cat merchant to relay the message to Sejun that King Dongshik of the Phoenix Guild has talked to his family so that they don't worry. Theo says that he got it, but then asks him why he did not take part in the cherry tomato auction this time. Dongshik tells him that this time he needs something other than the cherry tomatoes and asks him if they can take a picture because his daughter likes cats. Theo agrees in exchange for a reward, and the hunter gives him a pouch of red pepper powder that was indispensable to Koreans. The cat merchant is curious about how this spice tastes, and he makes the mistake of following his curiosity before Dongshik can warn him. He screams in pain as he jumps while saying that his tongue is on fire. Later, Theo goes to the market city and upgrades the load-carrying capacity of his bundle. He is still reeling from the damage he took from the red pepper powder earlier, and his face is still swollen. But he is happy that now that the capacity of his bag has been increased, he can fit much more cherry tomatoes inside it. And that way, he can increase his profit. He thinks that it is worth it to invest all the incentives he got from Sejun to upgrade his bundle. Theo laughs to himself, saying that at this rate, he will soon gather 1,000 tower coins and become a mid-class merchant. And soon after that, he hopes to become chairman and make Sejun kneel before him. Theo decides that now he should stop by the hardware store and finish Sejun's errand when he is enticed by the smell of roasted skewers coming from a roadside stall. Theo goes to the stall, hoping to soothe his mouth with it, and follows Sejun's teachings to procure a discount from the shopkeeper. As he laughs about it while eating the roasted fish, someone stops him. It is Zerath, who is in the disguise of the merchant of the last time, and Theo recognizes her as the pushover from the last time who almost got tricked by Scaram. Zerath is furious upon being called a pushover by the cat who ruined her operation, but she has to keep calm as she introduces himself. Theo asks him what the matter was, and Zerath says that she never got to thank him for saving him back then, so she wants to treat him to a meal. Theo rejects the offer, saying that he is busy right now, shocking Zerath, who tries her best to get him to come with her. She asks him not to be so cold and says they can just have tea if he does not have much time. But the cat merchant says that he cannot drink hot things. Zerath changes the bait and says that one of her friends works at a really popular dessert shop where people have to wait a few years for reservations, and they can have a very special dessert there for free. Theo is getting annoyed by her persistence and says that he does not even like sweet things. Zerath is irritated by his firmness, and she has no choice but to kneel down before him and ask him to listen to her. Theo is flustered and asks her why she was throwing such a tantrum, and Zerath puts on an act, saying that she became a wandering merchant only recently, and that is why she is lacking in the skills of a merchant. She says she was very impressed when Theo saw through the clever ploy of the evil Scaram at once and saved a complete stranger like her out of his consideration. Zerath then loudly says that she respects Theo and wants to learn his merchant skills, calling him the amazing and cool great wandering merchant cat, Sir Theo. Theo is overjoyed to hear so many adjectives before his name, and he smugly says that since she was so insistent, he can teach her a bit. As Zerath thanks him, she grins because her ultimate technique worked again. Her unheeded begging technique had never failed her, and now Theo finds it embarrassing and awkward that she was on her knees in the market. Everyone is staring at them, and Zerath gets up nervously and then asks Theo where he was going. He tells her that he was about to buy something from the smithy alley, and now Zerath is curious. She wants to see what kind of excellent stuff the cat merchant is going to buy and follows him silently until he comes to a shop, which he thinks should be good. Zerath is surprised to see him enter a shop that had a 50% discount on everything, and as they enter it, she notices that it was a bit shabby and had a lot of old items. The shop contained only unappraised items, and that made them unfit to be sold. In short, this store was a junk store, and she wonders what kind of merchant skills Theo is going to teach her here. As the cat asks the shopkeeper if the board outside was true and they really sold all items for 20 tower coins, Zerath recalls the shops they had been to on their way here. She had asked Theo if he was looking for items that could be resold, but he just smugly laughed and told her that she would find it out when she saw them. They passed through a lot of stores, and Zerath found a pretty dagger in one of them, and she told Theo that there were many high-class items in the smithy she just visited. But Theo confidently told her that he doesn't buy those trifling items. And now he was in a junk store where the owner clearly told him that most of the items in their shop were unappraised, so they could never know their true value. He adds that if he pays for items that are old and rotten because of their age, they will forge them too, and tells him to choose whatever he likes. Then suddenly, Theo slams his paws on the table and loudly asks the shopkeeper to give him a discount. Zerath is stunned for a moment, followed by loud internal screaming as she realizes that the merchant skill of her target was something so stupid. With this, the video ends. Sejun is facing unexpected challenges after coming out of the cave, and only time will tell if handling a gluttonous bear cub will be easier, or if cultivating crops on barren soil will be easier. But Theo is making some solid progress, and his ambitions to get respected by Sejun are growing day by day. What will happen between him and the cunning Inspector Zareth, who has been overestimating the naive cat merchant the whole time? Will she find out his secret, or will something entirely different happen? Let us find out in the next video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment, and also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.